My dear sisters and brothers in Christ, today we stand before the cross in silence and prayer. Good Friday brings us face to face with the suffering of Jesus. We listen to the Passion and see how he was rejected, mocked, and crucified. The cross can seem like a sign of pain and failure, yet it is also the heart of our faith. It is the place where God shows his deepest love for us. What looks like defeat becomes the beginning of salvation. As we look at the cross, we are invited to see not only suffering, but also love that gives itself completely and remains faithful to the very end, even when everything seems lost. The suffering of Jesus was not only physical, it was also emotional and spiritual. He was betrayed by Judas and denied by Peter. He was left alone by his friends. He faced injustice and false accusations without defending himself. On the cross, he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" In these words, Jesus enters into the deepest human pain. He shares the experience of loneliness and abandonment. There is no suffering in our lives that he does not understand. There is no darkness he was not touched. When we suffer, we can remember that Christ has been there before us and remains with us, even in our weakest moments. In our own lives, suffering takes many forms. It may be illness, grief, loneliness, rejection, or disappointment. Sometimes it comes suddenly. At other times, it remains for a long time. Often we ask why. Why does this happen? Why must I carry this burden? Good Friday does not give us simple answers. Instead, it reminds us that God is present in our suffering. He does not stay far away. In Jesus, he comes close to us. We may not understand everything, but we are not alone. Christ walks with us and shares our pain. We unite our suffering with his suffering. It can take on a deeper meaning and even become a quiet prayer offered to God each day. The cross also teaches us about love. Jesus did not suffer by chance. He accepted the cross out of love for us. He remained faithful to the end. On the cross, love reaches its highest expression. This kind of love is not easy. It asks for sacrifice and trust. In our daily lives, we are called to live this love in simple ways. We carry the cross when we forgive others. We carry it when we stay faithful in difficult moments. We carry it when we choose patience instead of anger and service instead of selfishness. These small acts may seem ordinary, but they are real signs of love that slowly shape our hearts and deepen our faith. The world often tries to avoid suffering and sees it as meaningless. But the cross shows us another way. It teaches us that even in suffering, grace can work. Good Friday reminds us that the cross is not the end. It leads to resurrection and new life. As we venerate the cross today, we bring our burdens to Christ. We place our fears, wounds, and struggles in His hands. He may not take them away at once, but He gives us strength to carry them. The cross assures us that love is stronger than suffering and death. Therefore, let us remain close to the cross, for in the suffering of Jesus we discover the depth of God's love, and in that love we find our salvation. Let us walk with Him in trust and hope, knowing that His grace is always sufficient for us.